said nigga gang, nigga that like lost big weights or some shit doing with some weight.
So he big as hell now.
Man, they said nigga got muscles and shit, man. So he ain't bullshit this time.
I like red bones, my type, light skin, that's nice, hello. GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
I like red bones, my type, light skin, that's nice, hello. GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic, fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
Yo, what up, what up, what up? Shout out everybody in the building, man. Y'all know what it is, bro. Hey, like and share, like and share, like and share so we can get this thing out everywhere. You be anywhere in the world, man, that you could be. You chose to be right here with me, man. Shout out to y'all. Really appreciate y'all being in the building. Y'all motherfucking solid today, man. What's the hell going on? What the hell going on? I got people in here, ain't nobody saying that. Y'all niggas been begging for 10-4 Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? And now it's back. Nigga, we off papers, man. We off them papers, baby. You know what I'm saying? We got a clean slate. You know what I'm saying? That's all we saying. So, of course, there's certain things I'm not gonna be able to talk about, but I'll hint at. You know, so you know what I'm talking about. So you understand what I'm saying and where I'm coming from. But we're going to navigate this as best as possible. And this is going to be cool, you know what I'm saying, because it's not anything that you can't talk about, you know, but it's certain things, you know, that you really can't get into those topics. So I had to get through here. But anyway, man, let's get into this thing. So it's crazy, right? And let me start here. Shout out to hate God niggas, okay? But there's a reason, even in the Bible, it tells you, man, there's nothing new under the sun, okay? There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new, really, for the most part, happens in life. It's just a more updated version of something that already previously existed. You go back, man, and they find these crazy inventions from ancient civilizations that should have in no way, shape, form, or fashion had the level of technology that believed to happen, right? But at the same time, it existed. And I know, not even I think, I know again, the ingenuity and the creativity of human beings, man, is just unparalleled. And the way that the human mind is able to come up with a concept of, flight, or making something small lift something extremely big, tools, things like that. That had to be, you know what I mean? That's original. And once you get from that original point, you know what I'm saying, the first hammer, the first wheel, the whatever, everything that's compounded on it is just an improvement. So when people say you can't reinvent the wheel, you know what I'm saying, that's literally it. You're not reinventing the wheel, you're just updating it now to the point of where you have better technology, better materials, a more efficient concept or whatnot, but still the wheel is just the wheel, right? So what gets lost a lot of the times, man, is something that happening now, but you just think it's never ever happened before. It's not that it's never happened before, it just happened to at a bigger scale, more likely than not. And to your knowledge, it's happening now, and you may not even be aware of when it happened before. And lo and behold, man, um it's crazy for what's actually here. And a lot of the old people, man, your Robert Kiyosaki's, your Rickards, and all these different things. These old school old fellas and economists and stuff. They've been talking about this, talking about this, talking about this. But oh, these this crazy ass old man. They're talking about, they're fear mongering. They're this, they're that. They want you to, what I'm saying. They want you to buy this shit. They want you to blah blah, blah, and it's never going to happen. And lo and behold, man, what they understand and what they know, because they have life experiences, that it has to happen. I mean, from a mathematical standpoint and from understanding economics, bro, this cycle will forever continue. When you have a capitalist society, not only a capitalist society, but a credit system and fiat currency. All right. Shout out to Brandon Green in the building. Crazy appreciate you, brother. And it's damn, bro. Y'all coming back to back, man. Happy to see you, bro. I thought you got your party here. No, fam, no, they ain't got me up out of here, man. I was just, what I'm saying, I was waiting, man. I was waiting, baby. I knew it was here shortly. I posted like a little light thing yesterday. Make sure y'all go through, man. Chef Tastic, man. And stuff y'all want to see me do, bro. Whatnot, we do it all here, bro. Like I say, it ain't just talking this shit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Talking shit, swallowing spit. Bro, we work out, we cook. I'm gonna get some fishing footage one of these days or whatever, man, but I'm trying to, I'm trying to navigate this thing, because I am going to be able to dedicate a lot more time to this, being that I'm going to be retiring soon. So now that I'm going to be able to have a major focus and focus more of my time on the whole YouTube thing. Like I said, I want to give you guys the A1 day ones, my actual base supporters, what I'm saying, what you guys want to see. And I know, from you guys' response to the things that I do, I'll be able to expand and grow the base through what you guys want to see and what you want to like, because I'm gonna give it to you, what I'm saying, in the best possible way you can fucking receive it or consume it. But it is what it is, man. Hey, as always, man, I greatly appreciate you guys. Let's get back to it. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So the Robert Kiyosaki's and the old dudes talk about this stuff, and oh, they're just old dudes. Listen, man, life experience is just that, man. What you come to understand is, man, in due time, everything's gonna come back around. I mean, shit. You never thought we'd see motherfucking tight leather pants again from the 70s and shit, right? But lo and behold, what happened? I never thought I'd see a motherfucking a high top fade or a high right, low left again, and my ass was rocking that shit for like 2-3 years. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way this hairstyle's ever coming back. And lo and behold, what happened? So again, a lot of people, as much as we think life is linear, even even on a individual base, that kind of makes sense. You live, you die, right? You live, you're born, you live, you die. Cool. Well, no, even in that, within your situation, and this is why learning from the past and not forgetting it is very, very important. You're gonna come through situations, man. Situations will arise in our lives, but you gotta be smart about it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that in itself, you know what I'm saying, is that's what life is about. You go through some shit, so the next time you see it, you know what I'm saying, it's not that difficult, or you can totally avoid it, or you can get benefit from it. That's what life's all about, man. It's not just, you black pill niggas. Oh man, I'm here. Oh, why did I wake up today? Shout out to the black pill niggas. But life is literally a journey, man, an experience, and very, very beautiful. If you understand it, you know what I'm saying. If you take the time to enjoy it and and share it. Most importantly, again, man, as they say, no man's an island, right? We all have people um, that we depend on or we care about or whatever at this point in life, and it's really makes it a whole lot better, man, when you share it with somebody else and you help somebody else avoid the things that you couldn't, right? For whatever reason, be it inexperience, be it lack of knowledge, be it whatever, you know what I'm saying, be it lack of resources, whatever it may be. If you can take your life experience and warn the next person, especially one that's near and dear to you, a loved one, blood family member, friend, or whatnot. That's the whole purpose of it, man, and it gives your life so much more substance. um but yeah, man. The same thing happens with these numbers. Okay. And bro, this is why I'm not perfect, and I'm not a perfect motherfucking mathematician, bro. But again, probability and possibility, man. A lot of people have horrible concepts, bro. Yeah, man. Listen, bro. Listen, dog. Again, people talk all kinds of shit about Robert Kiyosaki, bro, and it is what it is, man. Swift, it's coming, man. It's coming. You know what I'm saying? But this need unheal back up. But you're gonna have your detractors. You're gonna have your people that try to place it down. Why? Because, bro, everything now is monetized. Bro, everything is monetized now. You can literally get paid for everything. And people say, oh, that's the problem in the capitalist society. No, that's not the problem in the capitalist society. Because again, what people don't understand is the consumers have the power in the capitalist society. So anything people complain about with capitalism, it's your fault. Okay, maybe not directly, but the masses of people is your fault. If a product is offered, bro, and nobody buys it, that product will no longer be made, because you literally can't make something from nothing. If you're constantly spending money, paying money to make something, and you're never getting money back to fucking keep making those things, well, eventually you're going to run out of money. Therefore, you're going to run out of the product because you don't have the money to any longer make the product. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? The best thing they ever did. That's why it's like bottling bottled water. That's like the biggest hustle ever. Bro, I remember when bottled water started happening. Like for real, like Dasani and shit, when Coca-Cola really started bottling water. And we was just like, huh? I mean, you had always had like the jugs of water, like, you know what I'm saying, big gallons of water in case there was like floods and things like that or whatever, or something happened to where like you had to boil your water and stuff like that, right? But yeah, man, when Coca-Cola started fucking bottling water, like, like Cokes and Sprites and shit, I was like, motherfuckers really, bro, this was what, help me out, one of you older fellas, this had to be 90s. I'm gonna say mid 90s, maybe. I'm gonna say mid 90s. No, not mid to late 90s. It had to be after 96, somewhere probably around 97, 98 or whatever. I remember seeing the first fucking Dasani water bottle in like a Coke, come out of a Coke machine. And I thought to myself, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Why the fuck are you paying for water, right? When there's a water fountain right there. That water nasty. Bitch. Bitch, you from Macon. Okay? You done drunk this same water your whole life. Not Coca-Cola. Not Coca-Cola. Not Coca-Cola. They'll put some damn that same water in a bottle and you gonna pay for it. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Y'all kill me, man. It's bro. Listen. Status is so very, very important in a product, bro, that you can literally have the poorest quality. You can have the worst like product or whatever. Bro, if you get the status behind it, bro, it's gonna last forever. Yes, armed rebellion. Is that too? That's what I'm talking. And at the time when they did, and this is before what was it called? What's the NBC thing where they do it like night something or whatever, and they do the test and they actually, take the water, and they test the water, and they tell you, yeah, this is the same shit as fuck. It's literally tap water in a bottle. Literally. Yeah, get you Dan. I'm like, but of course, man, because people are fucking followers and people want to, I'm better because, what I'm saying? I'm better because I don't drink my water out of the tap. Well, genius, it's tap water just in a bottle and a label. Yeah, man. Exactly. You know what I mean? So once you get that understanding of it, bro, you see how easy it is to make money off things and keep making money or whatever. But regardless of how that works, you still have economic principles that can never be denied. And again, shout out to the hate God niggas again, man. Shout out to y'all. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let's let's get the Lord in here. Let's get the Lord in here.
And say, thank you, Lord. Tell him, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
The Bible warns against usury for a reason. Okay, I'm reiterating this from my I know the quick stream I did a couple days ago. When was this? Last Friday. Usury is an ancient word for credit. Okay, usury is an ancient word or term for lending money. All right. The reason why usury is bad is because, again, you're depending upon someone to honor their word in repayment. And a lot of things can happen as to where a person cannot repay. If you're working a 9-to-5 job or whatever job you're working on, you have a business and it's generating revenue. What happens once you lose your job, or you get injured on the job, or your job closes down, or you die? Now, the person that has lended that money is out of that money. And usually what they're going to do is they're going to try and recoup that money through charging people that are close to or related to, or, associated with the person that owed the money. Now you get a person that didn't have a debt having a debt just due to affiliation or relation. That in itself creates a lot of problems. What the hell you mean? How the hell? What? I ain't borrowing no money from you. Well, you didn't borrow any money, sir, but you're the heir of such and such and such and such, and so and so and so and so. So you must pay their debt. What kind of sense does that make? Well, hey, look here. We're coming to get our money one way or the other. And you didn't want that back in the ancient times, bro. All right. You can pay out your pocket or out your ass. Okay. All right. That's how they, you know what I mean? One way or the other, sir. We're going to get our payment. Because what? I mean, you want the not only do you, most importantly, you want the return of the investment or your kindness, your generosity, or whatever it may be, most importantly, right? But what you don't want to do, even more important than that, is what? You don't want it to be seen as, oh, I can just take this motherfucker's money for the free and there's no consequence to me. Bars. Okay. The last thing you want is I can just take this motherfucker's money, borrow this motherfucker's money for free. You know what I'm saying? Don't pay it back, and nothing's gonna happen to me. That's the worst thing that could ever happen. So that's why, hey, this Pooh Shiesty shit, get it back in blood. That ain't new either, nigga. That's all, bro. It's nothing new under the sun. I'm gonna add that title to the thing. Shout out to Dollar Will in the building, man. Dollar Will, man. Shout out to Dollar Will, man. Hey, Dollar Will, brother, if you have time, brother, I would love for you to come up, man, and give your expertise. Hey, if you guys are not sub to Dollar Will, man, especially in these times coming up, that Patreon is definitely gonna be worth it. This brother's a master of of his craft, and I'll just say that, you know what I'm saying. But Dollar Will, brother, if you got time, man, by all means, man, I'll come up and I'll let you give some very great knowledge to the people, you know what I mean, concerning what's happening here. But listen, man. So what you come to understand is, yeah, that money gotta be paid back, bro. Because you don't want to be the bitch that people can just take money from and just quote unquote borrow money from and then just strong on it and not take it back. Fuck it, ain't paying them niggas. No, you can't do that. So hey, either somebody's gonna pay it, or hey, we gotta send a message. And that's been something from the beginning of time. It's just as we move forward, you know what I'm saying, in society, and of course you're not as, you know, you're more civilized. Well, you can't just, you know what I'm saying, take out a whole family or sacrifice a person in the middle of the street. Now you just take them to court and then you get your money back that way. Okay, you take them to court, you put a lien on the property of their own property, you do all these different things or whatnot, and you recoup that money the way that you can recoup the money. All right. All right, for sure, Dollar. Appreciate you, brother. So that's where we are. Well, again, economic principle, man. From a fiat currency standpoint, okay. If you guys don't know, fiat currency is, we have a pretty much promissory note, promise to pay, right? Once upon a time, we on the gold standard. All right, gold standard was you had gold backing the money. All right, you had an actual asset backing the money. So no matter how much money you had, that money was actually backed by by a uh, by a physical and real thing of value. All right. The issue and problem though was, again, once you set up a bank, and now as the bank, you're giving out money or you're loaning out money and all these different things, you have something behind it. There's a finite amount of money you can have. All right, because there's actual gold behind it. All right. And at some point in time, like I said, people actually storing gold there. So if a person came along and they borrow X amount of gold or whatnot, what have you, right? And they gave that gold out, or they lended that gold out, or the money back by it. Well, if you come in and you get your gold, well, the bank's fucked because they just lended out money on off the strength of that fucking gold. And now you as a person come back and you say, well, I want to take out my gold out of the bank. Well, I want to take out half my gold of the bank. Well, shit, if we do that, we're not gonna fucking, we can't give nobody else money. You're gonna slow everything down. We can't. So it was it's kind of a catch-22 both ways. Gold standard has its fucking limitations, but the gold standard is far more or any type of backed currency thing is far more safer, because now you don't get to just print money and do the shit we're doing now, to where just, hey, money grows on trees. Not even just money grows on trees, money fucking literally falls out of thin air. And what happens there is now you're in trillions upon trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars in debt, because there's money that doesn't have anything attached to it. And you're lending out all the money to all these other things, and not to mention fucking private versus public and all these different things. It's just crazy shit, right? So what we're seeing now is these banks are fucking collapsing. These banks are to the point now of where they have overlent, they have overextended, they've overdone all these things, right? To the point of where none of the assets, even the fucking the bonds, the real estate, all this other shit they have that would be actually there to support if they could and would, you know what I'm saying, need to liquidate, they don't have enough, bro. Okay, that's why the FDIC only insures your money up to 250,000. All right, the banking system in itself is broken, and what we're seeing now is it's getting to the point now, because the 2008 crisis never happened. What's happened is just like what do you say, destroy and rebuild, right? So what's going to happen over time, you know, especially the fiat currency situation, right? Especially with the fiat currency situation, is you're going to have this motherfucking thing to where everything motherfucking your balance sheet gets redone. Pretty much, you got to reset the fucking balance sheet, because okay, well, we lent money here, we lent money there, we lent money here, we lent money there. We might a little bit, we went a little over here. We didn't recoup this here. We didn't recoup this there, but it's not supposed to be so far off or so whatever. That's why it's called a balance sheet, right? But when you're dealing in trillions upon trillions of dollars, right? Well, of course, you know what I'm saying? A dollar here, a dollar there turns into, 100,000 there, a million there, a billion there. So that's what we're starting to see happen. Dub Will, I was trying to do some research on that, man, and I think I want to say a credit union is a little bit more secure, but we'll get to that. And like I said, I'll get somebody with the better thing, you know what I'm saying, than me, bro. Geechee Dan, SVB Bank was only banks only hold 10% of your deposit money, and they replace a bad bond bet where they're losing billions every time the Fed raises interest rate. Yeah, so you listen, you're going to have to, when you start trying to the Fed comes along, and I think what the dude that really fucked shit up or whatever, or but actually got it right, was Volcker. When Volcker did what he did and he raised the fucking interest rates as high as they needed to be, that's what you have to do in order to reset the fucking economy properly. It's going to be painful, but it has to be painful. And if you go ahead and get it out of the way, it's like fucking resetting a bone, right? You can motherfucking walk around, and you can let the shit be dislocated or whatever, and you can, just let it, hang up there and reform itself. But if it reforms, it's not going to reform properly. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna, is your bone's not gonna be set properly. So it's going to start healing, but it's going to heal improperly, and it's never going to be back to full strength. Well, this is the fucking position where we're at now. And the further and further you get more in society where it's more advanced and everybody wants everything right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. It's fucking instant gratification. Well, it's going to be far more painful, and society's not going to like it or not understand the purpose of why we're bringing everything to a motherfucking dead halt, or you're just completely and totally motherfucking shutting everything down to a damn near standstill. Okay. They're not going to understand it. But again, you do the fucking economic study, you understand this is the way that it has to happen in order for it to properly fucking heal or properly be reset or properly be broken down so you can build it back up healthily. Right. Well, in 2008, it never happened. Okay. All these banks got bailouts, not just banks. Businesses got the car industry got bailouts. I remember this, bro. And this was me in my youth. I didn't know. I didn't understand no better. I didn't know whatever. And I saw, because I heard about it, but I'm pretty sure they might have had E-Trade accounts and shit back then, but it was totally different and not as easy as it is now. I didn't have an E-Trade account. I was mad as fuck because I was like, damn, GM went down to like, I want to say it was either 99 cents or $1.99. Somebody help me out. When the thing happened in 2008, and the crash officially happened and announced, and GM and Ford and all the rest of these fucking motor companies start going out, I want to say, I know it was definitely $1.99, like $2 or $2.49 or something. It might have got down to an actual dollar. Okay. And then of course they delisted it and they took it off to where you could no longer buy it. But opportunities like this, man, like I said, this is where the rich become richer. Because why? Everything's going to drop to a point of where it's going to be extremely, extremely cheap, to where, like, hell, 60%, 70%, 80%, at some point, hell, even 90% fucking drop off, man. So now to a person that it seems like everything is bad. Well, yeah, of course it's bad for the economy. But if you have saved up your money, you have assets or whatever to invest, it's the perfect time to invest. Why? Because everything's dirt cheap. Because we're in a fucking financial fucking, recession or depression. And being that economics is purposely not taught to the common people, because they want you to be a worker her entire life. They want you to be an employee. People don't understand that. And all you hear is the doom and gloom about the stock market crash, stock market crash, stock market crash. Like it's a bad thing. Well, your mind, because you've never been taught about the stock market. And let me do like a quick aside there. Bro, do you understand what you come to learn? And I remember this because economics for us was a gifted class. You had to be like on the gifted track to even take it, right? And they would offer it, but most people didn't even want to fucking take the shit or whatever, right? Because economics, who gives a fuck? So the first time I ever heard anything about the stock market and actually paid attention to it, because it used to be in the newspaper. In the back of the newspaper, you turn to your economy section or whatever, and you'd have all the, you had maybe Fortune 500 companies or whatever in there. You have your Cokes, your IBMs, your I think they even had Nike in there or whatever. So I'll never forget when I looked at that, and would have been 2000 and no, probably been 2000, around 99 or 2000. And I saw the price of like Nike stock, man. Like, so again, if you had the opportunity to, and back, and just think if you was a kid, right, or you was able to buy Amazon stock, or he had the wherewithal or the know-how to call up a stockbroker in the fucking 90s and buy Amazon stock at $2 a fucking share or whatever it was, right? Yeah, shout out to Geechee Dan. And Geechee Dan, this one's talking about Little Rock in the building. Shout out, brother. No. Armed Rebellion. This will be far worse than 2008, fam. And we gonna get into that too. And I'm glad you said this. This is the biggest misconception, brother. This right here is going to be a depression. It's not going to be a recession. It's going to be a depression. You're literally in the worst possible, like, inescapable economic situation here. All right. This is going to be bad. And that's why I keep telling you guys, man, no bullshit. This ain't just, doom and gloom and, whatever, all this. No, bro, the wolves are going to be out So you need to be aware of this because this trickles down to your reality. Okay. Economy is the first thing, the most important thing that affects reality. I'll say this again. Economy is the most important thing that fucking affects reality, bro. All right. All right, because what when it's plentiful and whatever, everybody can eat, everybody can get what they need. Hey, it's fine, bro. As soon as you fucking reduce the resources or make it harder for people to fucking achieve resources, bro, you get closer and closer back to that primal state. You know what I'm saying? Survival instincts and shit. You know what I mean? So motherfuckers are gonna go back to, hey, if I gotta take it, I'm gonna have to take it. But yeah, it's gonna be far worse in 2008. But anyways, yeah, starting in 2008, like I said, we never came out of that. And you know, they bailed all these things out. They bailed out the banks, they bailed out the automotive systems and other business and shit. And what made it so crazy was, bro, they talked about it. They talked about how these people that had just got bailed out, man. And I think a couple of them got blocked because Congress, people were finding out about this and doing reports on it. This was like at the beginning before the the 2000s was like the dot-com bubble or whatever you want to call it, right? Or like, the internet. But around 2010, man, it's where social media picked up and people had more readily access to, not just entertainment and shit, but actual business things. And the public started commenting on it. So people was like, hold on, man, we just bailed these motherfuckers out, and the damn these CEOs gave themselves raises. These CEOs were fucking using this shit for fucking private jet motherfucking funded, soirees and banquets and shit. What the fuck you mean, right? So the people started, public started complaining about it, and Congress brought some of these people to the, had to be like, hey man, we just gave out his money, but I don't know if y'all understand that we're in a new age where these people can look this shit up and find this stuff out, and they're starting to fucking complain. So y'all got to slow this shit down. No, you can't do this, bro. You can't. We just, what I'm saying, y'all fucked the company over. Y'all gambled on all this real estate and these assets and things. You did this on predatory lending, and you did all this shit knowing that it wasn't gonna work. And I know I keep getting sidetracked, man, but it's a lot of stuff to partake, bro. These people at these banks know this already. They have the world's best economists. They have the world's best statisticians. They have the world's best people when it comes to motherfucking numbers and money. Okay. So they already know how this shit's gonna go. All right. Like you said, it's just a legal fucking gambling game. And they know that because it's too big to fail. And a lot of these, this is why I say you should not be able to serve more than 3 terms in Congress and Senate. Combined, you should get 3 terms, whether it be 2 in Congress, 1 in Senate, or 2 in Senate, 1 in Congress, or 3 total. All right. Because what Congress is how much is a Congress term, y'all? 4 years? A Congress term is 4 years. And a Senate term is 4 or 6. Give me the terms. I don't know, man. Okay. All right, cool. Will, here we go. All right, man. Dollar Will, whenever you're ready, bro. Yeah, man. Yep. Geezy Dan. Yep. It is. You're gonna need more than that. You're gonna need more than switchblade, bro. That's close contact only. But nah, man. What was I saying? Damn, I got sidetracked. Man, this shit is just so layered. But let's get into this, man, and we'll come to it. So SVB Bank was the largest bank collapse to ever happen, right? So let's do this. We were just talking about this 2-arm rebellion. So people here in Jacksonville, Florida, bro, we're talking about rent prices just alone. And so many things, again, man, economic wise, depends on this because, bro, Florida and Texas, and I think Florida might be leading Texas for the biggest influx of transfers out of state. All right. Signature Bank. No. SVB, Silicon Valley was the biggest. Signature Bank, I'm about to show it now, was the second largest, brother. actually failures. Because like you remember, Bank of America, them shits never actually failed. But these banks, that and two, man. So let me do this. Oh my bad. Let me do this. Hey man, y'all hit the like button, bro. Hit the like button. Y'all niggas come in here and give me your money. I greatly appreciate it. But give me them likes. The likes is free. Well, let's get to this, bro. Because it's gonna be a million aside, so I keep doing it this way. Mm. Yeah, anything called Bank of America, you know they never gonna let fail, bro. You literally, like I said, that's we go back to brand recognition and just branding. That's the wrong thing. Hold on. I should not only do that. I'm going to read it. All right. While regulators seized Signature Bank and third biggest bank failure in U.S. history, this was March 13th, which would have been Monday. Okay. On Friday, Signature Bank customers spooked by the sudden collapse of Silicon Valley Bank withdrew more than $10 billion in deposits, a board member told CNBC. That run on deposits quickly led to the third largest bank failure in U.S. history. Regulators announced that late Sunday, a Signature was being taken over to protect its depositories and stability of the U.S. financial system. I think part of what happened was that regulators wanted to send a very strong anti-crypto message, said board members of former Congress Barney Frank. All right, so let me see. Yeah, they got it. So let's let them play it. And one of the
Bank SBNY ordered to close. Get more on the rip, maybe other regional banks for that. Let's bring in CBC.com banking reporter Hugh Sun. Hugh.
How's it going, Brian? It's important really to discuss why this extraordinary action was taken today. There was the risk of multiple bank runs, and they took that contagion risk off the table. Clearly, there were 3 banks that in my discussions with VC.
all right. So watch this. All right, so bank runs, okay? Again, this is what they used to do back in the and these major fucking competitors and bank owners would do this to other banks. Is what they do is they would get unsurety about the bank going on, telling people they don't got enough money to cover their money or whatever. So what the people would do, of course, is go withdraw all their fucking money, right? Or withdraw so much of the money to the point of where the bank could not motherfucking sustain itself. Okay. So this whole thing they're talking about bank runs. Well, who do you think is doing it? Well, it's not fucking individuals. Everybody lining up in a fucking bank and saying, "Hey, give me my money, give me my money, give me my money." No, it's these big ass fucking companies or these big individuals with large shares of accounts and take up for the damn what's the name, man? Yeah, I still got my XRP. Yeah, I do. I still got my XRP. Listen, bro, when this I told y'all the crypto niggas was right, but they it's not like they didn't know. So this is the difference, right? The difference between the Robert Kiyosaki's or whatever and all the crypto niggas that jumped on the crypto thing. Most of the crypto people that got on the crypto train pretty much got in early enough to where I'm making look at all this money I made and look at all the money I'm making and whatever, blah, 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 whatever, and the shit panned out. But that's what percentage of cryptos are working out? Maybe 1%, maybe 1 to 5%. You got how many of them are truly profitable? Then of course you get your Doge coins that blows up every now and again, to the moon and this shit or whatever, these miraculous things, these altcoins that are less than pennies on the fucking dollar, and then all of a sudden one night for whatever reason, it runs up, and now you're a fucking a thousandaire or a millionaire over just the luck of fucking whatever, right? The truth and fact of the matter is, again, man, this shit is just like the same process of fiat currency, and it's even worse because what is backing it? People say, well, the technology. Well, okay. I mean, when you listen to people that have blockchain technology, the technology is really not that. It's not as strong as they say it is, and a whole lot of other things, all right? But most importantly, bro, you have to have something behind it. All right. But what they did was when all this free money and shit happened with the PPP loans and the shutdown and whatever, and they had all this free money they gave up. Well, how do you soak all this money back up? How do you, you know what I'm saying, get the poor, you know what I'm saying, back to being poor? Because I don't know if y'all remember this shit, man. Listen, dog. Bruh, I remember, especially during the pandemic, right? Very, very few people was out. Very few people was out. But because, you know, my job, my occupation, and, you know, me having my stuff together from a financial standpoint, bro, every time I could be out, I was out, and I was loving it, dog. Loving it. Nobody hardly out, nobody there or whatever. I hated the stupid math shit. But hey, could play the game and fucking, you know, do whatever and pretty much have carte blanche and access to any everywhere you wanted to go because, you know, most people weren't out and people weren't making money because a lot of businesses shut down. Well, when they decided to give these PPP loans out, not PPP loans, I'm saying that's wrong. The stimulus checks. When they decided to give out these fucking stimulus checks, nigga, oh my God. Woo. Oh my God. When they started giving out this free money, and then on top of the free money, what else did they do, y'all? They fucking gave people unemployment, and they purposely motherfucking raised the unemployment to like what? What was it? What was it, y'all? Was it 300 a week or extra 300 a week or extra 500 a week? Help me on the chat. When they raised up the motherfucking unemployment to $300 or $500 a week or whatever the fuck it was, and you had people that were making far much more money than they've ever seen in their life for not working. Well, now everybody got money and shit. I'm gonna go outside too. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna motherfucking buy up all the shoes. I'm gonna be in all the fucking expensive restaurants. I'm gonna be everywhere I can motherfucking go with this free money I'm being given. You know what I'm saying? 600 a week. Yeah, bro, $600 a fucking week, bro. It's crazy. $600 a week. So bro, you're not making that at McDonald's. You're not making that at most minimum wage fucking jobs. You're not making that. And now you're gonna get paid that shit for fucking just to sit on your ass. Yeah, see, look, shout to Captain Cisco. That was another big thing. Yeah, Credit Suisse. Been talking about Credit Suisse for I don't know how long. Credit Suisse. I talked about them as soon as I got back. Credit Suisse is now they're on the hook, right? And this isn't just gonna be. This is why I'm telling you, this ain't just gonna be a national thing, man. It's gonna be an international thing because, bro, you know this horrible fucking practices economically, bro. It's just gonna spread out. Let's get back to the video.
See investors and founders that are under particular duress. First Republic, Signature, and PacWest. Two of those three are based in California. Signature, as we know, is being shut today. One of the early drafts of the FDIC's plan to take a look at uninsured depositors was essentially to give them their money back in two tranches, as far as I understood. One would be available right away within a few days, and the other half of that money would have been available within 3 to 6 months, Brian. And therein lies the problem. That plan was floated for a couple of days. Any plan in which people either had to wait a long time or in which they weren't getting 100% of their money would clearly cause the rest of the startup community to basically do what they had begun to do. As far as my reporting over the weekend was, people were already moving money out of places like First Republic, out of places like Signature, into Forbes, Chase, Citi, and the like. And if that were the case, if that were allowed to happen, certainly there was the risk of more bank runs tomorrow.
I'm going to do my best, Tyler, my good friend Tyler Matheson impersonation. I'm going to do a two-parter question to you, Houston. Here we go. Number one is, do you think or do you know there was any discussion about some of these other California-based and Phoenix-based banks? We know the names. We showed the charts: Pacific West, Western Alliance, Spain Corp, and others that have been hammered by the stock market. Were those ever considered? And number two, how big of a role did the cell phone play in this? And I bring that up because it's not like you've just got to go to the bank back in the day and you had to wait in line and they could physically shut the door and you could not get your money out. People can now move tens, hundreds of millions of dollars around in 2 seconds on their phone. I wonder if we will see changes of banking regulation because it's just too darn easy to withdraw money now in some cases. And some people have called this the cell phone run on the bank.
I'll take this, in reverse. The Twitter bank run was another phrase coined by this. The advent of online banking, obviously, you've got a bank branch, in your pocket, basically. You add that with social media and the ability for information to travel very fast. In some cases, misinformation, as we all know, over the weekend, and the velocity in which this occurred, with Silicon Valley Bank between Thursday and Friday, in about 40 hours, essentially collapsing and losing more than 40 billion in deposits, really in the blink of an eye, was remarkable to see, and it does impress upon regulators that they need to be able to move fast.
Let's just be sure we have a chart up there of Signature Bank, which is now dead bank. PacWest, we don't know. But First Republic had 60 billion in cash. They're going to be open tomorrow.
What the heck happened to my audio? Why don't I hear him? Okay, let me get this fixed. I heard the video. Now I don't hear Mr. Fantastic talking.
Oh shit, my bad. I was muted. My bad. I was muted. You can't hear me now?
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's happening, bro?
Yeah, that's me. What's wrong?
Keep going for a second. Keep rocking. I'm trying to get a chart and stuff set up for us.
Okay, bet. I'll meet you up and just come off whenever you're ready. All right, so this guy right here, man. This guy right here, appreciate you, Zone. This guy right here was just last week before the fucking thing, bro, telling everybody, hey, man, you should fucking invest in Silicon Valley. Literally, bro, again. And this is what he's saying, because I saw this shit on the way I found out about this was through Twitter, and people was talking about, AMC. And pretty much what they're telling you, bro, was, again, dog, they do not want, bro, the Vegas concept of the house always wins, bro. It's just a smaller motherfucking concept of economics and the global fucking banking system, bro. Okay? The Federal Reserve is the house. They never lose, dog. The Federal Reserve is the house, and they never lose. Why? Again, bro, it's totally separate from the United States. It's not even a part of the United States. It's its own entity. If you look back in the history of it, it's undefeated. Anybody that dared motherfucking say anything about it or try to get rid of it, what happened to him? Last person to try this shit was fucking Reagan. Reagan got the motherfucking message. That's why you don't hear nobody talking about no motherfucking, we're going to get rid of the Federal Reserve. We're going to fucking have a, back currency. We're going to do all this shit, bro, because, hey, bro, they're going to get your ass up out of there, okay? And nobody gives a fuck but him, because now the whole world is dependent upon the fucking Federal Reserve outside of maybe, a certain place, a region called the Middle East. Why? Because they have the most valuable motherfucking asset or outside of gold, because the whole world runs on fucking oil. And you're going to get the biggest motherfucking oil from where? This is why there's always so much smoke with them, but nobody really, really fucking controls them. Richest people in the world, bro. Where are they? For a reason. But yeah, man. Yeah. Kramer, crazy. Just telling everybody, man. This is why you got to be careful with these motherfuckers you listen to. And that's why I say people like, these people that they put into you in the public and shit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Versus the old heads, your Rickards and your Robert Kiyosaki. Let me play this, and then Dollar Will won't pull up your chart, man. Let me finish playing this. We will go. Yeah, hey, yep, got him up out of there. Peel this muffin cap back.
Don't even want to be conflated those other things.
Yeah, they're in a graphic right now.
Well,
by
but
the way.
you know how people.
100%. So Hugh, do we know that first part of that question I asked you? There are some other banks, and I hate to mention them, but the market spoke loudly for itself on Friday.
Look, Brian, even if we weren't discussing these banks, startup community was discussing them. So this isn't a thing that isn't just a media-generated phenomenon. This was occurring outside of these walls, Brian. And, First Republic was discussed among this. There was a lot of discussion over the weekend about forced marriages. In other words, some of these banks being told to get with other banks to bulk up. And so this is something that is real. It was happening outside of media. And thank goodness some of these options are taken off the table.
HughSun.
And what's happening? What's happening, everybody?
You got it. You got it, Will. We have the subject matter expert in the building, man. Teach us something, brother.
Well, let me start by saying I am not a financial advisor. I'm not licensed in any degree. This is my personal opinion. Get your own financial advisor. And you know, this is just, like I said, my personal opinion.
Of course.
There you go. So now I am an advocate of a perspective called technical analysis. Now, what you watch on the news, that's fundamental analysis. And the disaster you just saw is why fundamental analysis is, oh God, I could be politically correct. No, it's bullshit. Okay. Let me just make it real plain and funky. It's bullshit. Fundamental analysis is trying to grade. It says that if a company is making money, then you should buy it when it falls, because it presumes that if it's making money, the stock will just keep going up. That's false. That's a problem. That's the main problem right there, that you can tell whether something is good to invest in based on if the business underlying the stock is making money or not. That's a problem. Technical analysis, on the other hand, says that there is the technical view is everything that you're never going to know everything about a company, because you got the CFO and the company controlling the information. They lie on the books. They lie in the accounting about the earnings. You see them restate the earnings all the time. So you can't even trust the information from that way. So the technical perspective says nothing is more important than the price action on the chart itself. Because people who have opinions and aren't spending money buying the stock and selling the stock, just discount them. They don't matter. So the people participating in the stock market, buying and selling every day, they determine the value, not the others on the outside. It's just the same with like a house and real estate. The people buying and selling the house determine the market value, not those of us that's not in the trade. So to see what's going on, you got to look at the charts. And technical analysis is an umbrella term. So there's many camps within that. And I'm from a camp called Elliott Wave Theory. And so basically there's certain ways that prices move. And I'm not going to bore you with getting into the details of that. But I just want to say that when times seems to be at their worst, that's like when everybody is selling. At the extreme of that, you need to have this knowledge of how to read the charts, because that's when you'll be able to get it at a good bargain. So technical analysis will tell you when it's dangerous to continue to hold it. And we're not trying to get the exact high. You'll know that, okay, I need to start protecting the profit I've made. And so, it's common for smart investors who know, and smart investors, all of them either know technical analysis or they pay a service to provide that information to them. Okay, so there's a time when you're just being too greedy, and technical analysis will tell you, okay, I need to get out in this area. And technical analysis will tell you, okay, we should be hitting a bottom pretty soon. And what I have up on screen is an XL ETF called XLF, and it has what I have here. This is a site called Bar Charts, and I clicked on constituents. So I like to trade ETFs. Personally, I don't buy too many individual companies, because the way money rotates from sector to sector. the business activity in the world, the companies are broken up into sectors, and then within sectors you have different industries. So the money rotates from sector to sector, and within those sectors from industry to industry. So if you can find the right industry and sector, and you're golden. You're going to be in flow with the way the money is moving. Now, if you want to buy individual companies, then you would look sector, industry, and then the individual stock. That's the way I approach it. And so, for me to like understand what's going on, I look at the industry sector level, and and ETFs are great for that. And so, this particular ETF is a S&P 500, and S&P 500 is the 500 largest companies by market cap. And market cap means if you took all the money that is invested in a company, just let's look at the stock bearing companies as attracting investors via stock investors. That's the reason. So the 500 companies that have attracted the most of the market's money via stock purchases, that's the constituents of the S&P 500. And the membership in the S&P 500 changes from time to time. So when companies fall out of favor and they're no longer among the 500 largest in terms of attracting investors dollars in terms of stock purchase, they fall out of the S&P 500. So this fund shows you what's in this particular industry-based ETF, and it's got a lot of banks. Okay, and a Bank of America is one of the largest in probably, I think, either Citibank or Bank of America. They're like the largest in America, and of course everybody knows Warren Buffett. Okay, and so this tells you the percentage of the stock that's in this ETF. So because stocks move within industries and sectors, and they all tend to move in the same direction at the same time, that information alone will change the way you invest and the way you respond to the news. Because there's a time for a whole industry and sector to rise, and then there's a time when it gets too fat. And all of the investors, all the people investing in this, this is where your Warren Buffetts and all your big rich folks, they're trying to not be the last to leave the party. It's like everybody knows that the fun starts in the nightclub, after midnight, but after 3 a.m. ain't no good girls in there. Okay, it's this universal. We know that. Okay,
Yeah.
You might get your stuff tooken. Okay, it's gonna be dangerous. Okay, you're gonna have to have your peace. You're gonna have to have your boys. You have to watch your back. So it's a little different thing at 3 a.m. All right.
Yep.
And so there are technical signs once you learn to read the charts that let you know when you pass midnight and you heading toward 3 a.m. and now, Pookie and the stick up guys, you on their radar now,
Exactly.
And so there's a time when all of this money, they're watching each other and they know I got to take my profit. Okay. Because there are videos coming up on YouTube now that's showing that some of the members of the biggest stockholders of that SVB bank, they sold. And that's what happens all the time. The same money that makes a stock go up, it is that same money that crashes it, because they know nobody wants to be the last one in. So once again, technical analysis will let you know when you're near that danger point. You don't want to be the pig, the fat, greedy pig that gets slaughtered because you're trying to get the last piece of bacon. No. You got to lead the party. And so I want to show this particular chart now that I showed you about the ETF. So we're looking at it from the standpoint of the health of the entire sector. And let me see. Let me bring up this other one really quick here. Okay. Okay. You got it. You see, there you go. I mean, I got all these dang on tabs. Weighing my computer out. Okay, so this is the ETF of the thing we were just looking at. All right. And so this is what everyone, this low here, no, sorry, this is 2009. And so we've been on an uptrend since 2009. And a basic premise of technical analysis is it's a thing called a rule of trend. And it's very basic and elementary. Anybody can understand. It's not deep. That in a bull run, a bullish trend, the price makes higher highs and higher lows. So this was the low, then it made this high, then it swung to this low, but this low is not lower than that low. Okay, then it exceeded this high and went higher and made another low, but this low is higher than this low. As long as the price keeps doing that, and then this low, and then that's a good thing. Then it came here, and then we got this. Now this gets into, I talk about this in my Patreon. What this is? This is a correction in term. This is a Elliott wave, what we would call a wave 4. It's normal. It did make a new low, but it's not the end of the movie. It's not the end of the story. And this is the low here that what we refer to, or news refers to, as the COVID low. And in the bigger picture, we got to keep an eye on this high here from 2007, when we made that the big financial collapse that everybody's talking about. And so this is the financial ETF during the financial collapse. That's it. All right. But then what do? We recovered. We went higher than that point. Okay. So in my channel, I look at, we talk about longer range cycles in Elliott wave theory. I mean, we're looking at 100 years of information. We look multi-generationally, okay, because you're really studying the relationship, the growth of civilization, and the relationship of man to the resources. The resources could be oil, agriculture. So all of those, the wood and materials needed to build housing. So as the population grows, the things that men or humans need to continue civilization come in demand. And that's where profit is made, by investing in those things. But because of the whole rule of supply and demand applies to human greed too. So we hoard things that are in demand because of this whole process of the price making higher highs and higher lows. Look at it this way. If it's low here and we think it's going higher, it's going to cost more tomorrow than it did yesterday. And so once we are in one of these cycles, the big money knows to hoard it at this level and sell it later. And they just do that, and they sell it and cause that. And then they hoard it again at this level, and it makes a new high and sell it again and cause that. Until at some point that cycle ends, and on a bigger time frame, going back, say, several, like this right here is 24 years from 2009. We're into 2023. So we're 24 years into what's considered the longest bull run in history. Okay. Now, this is where I have to say I'm a bit of a renegade, even in the Elliott wave theory camp. I call the talk of the destruction of the markets and the collapse of everything. I refer to that as the hell trade, as we're going to hell. And I was in the hell camp. I'm not in the hell camp now. Why? Because this decline wasn't really that bad in an Elliott wave theory context. This was 29%. Okay, this one was 43%, and we recovered. Okay, so I could be wrong, but I would be interested or concerned if we went below the low of October of 2022. This low here. If we go below that, I'll really be concerned. But I think we got another push in the financial sector and in the stock market at large, including the S&P and all of it. I think we're premature on the hell trade. I think this large cycle, that's the longest bull run in the history, is not over. We've never been here before. So our emotions and psychology is telling us that, wait a minute, this thing has been running too long. It should be over. But the technicals are telling us it's still strong.
Okay, so just real quick, let me hop in real quick. So
Mhm.
so from a basic, like you said, supply demand fundamental
Mhm.
economic principle, right?
Mhm.
Eventually, this does have to, like you said, just come to an end, right? Because
Correct.
it's a up and down, runs,
Correct.
bull and bear, all this stuff.
Correct.
So
And when we
maybe
talk
this,
about come to an end, we're talking about wiping out, all of this whole cycle, taking you back in
yeah,
time to,
the
30,
lowest
40
point,
years ago or some crazy stuff. The modern equivalent of the Great Depression era
exactly.
degree of decline. And
So
I'm telling you that is absolutely going to happen. But I'm
is that
saying it's not, I do not think it's happening now.
okay? Cool. All right. So being that you don't say it is happening now, okay, when and where do we put I don't want to say guesstimation, or would you be able to tell from the technicals to tell you when that level, when a depression was going to happen? Could the technicals tell you when a depression level loss is going to happen?
In the sense of, can it tell us that, say, January 31st, 2030? No,
Okay.
it can't tell. It can't tell you that. It can tell us. It can tell us where the next. Let me tell you. Let me say it this way. Elliott wave theory, as a particular, some forms of technical analysis are more exacting than others.
Hmm.
And Elliott wave theory, that camp, our view is that price makes a pretty consistent type of pattern, or several, a small set of with a little variation, minor variations to a pattern, and we can see it decline. But if this structure continues in say a textbook pattern, then this is the area that I'm looking for. Now, as this moves up, let me go down to a daily chart. This was a monthly chart. Okay. So this is the decline from back in February of 2022, so 13 months ago, basically.
Okay.
And this is the low that we hit in October of 2022. And we have not taken out this low. And this is the low before making this low. We haven't taken that low out either. And so there's a pattern called inverse head and shoulders, where this would be the left shoulder, this would be the head. And if the price does not, if we end up rising, which I think we will, going above here, you're going to see everything in the media change. And so these next couple of days will be very important from a technical standpoint, for those of us who may want to get in early on stuff. But there's a thing when you trade called a stop loss, but where basically you put a mark in there in your account and say, stop me from losing money, meaning get me out of the trade if the price drops below a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in this low for now. This looks interesting. Looks like it could hold. Okay, it could hold. So in the next few days, we'll see something. So today is Tuesday. If by the end of the week, especially Friday. Friday is a huge day, every Friday is a huge day in terms of market psychology, because when big money is optimistic, they're either greedy or fearful. And how they trade on Friday gives you an idea if they're feeling greedy, meaning they're afraid that they're going to miss out on a gain. They're afraid at the end of the day, Friday, to be out of the market because the market could open higher on Monday. So in greedy environments, they buy the market strong, especially in the last hour of the day on Friday. So if so in downtrending markets, Fridays are usually red. In uptrending markets, Fridays are usually green. So I'm watching the charts, but I'll be definitely paying attention to the sentiment on how Friday, how the market, how the big money, the billionaires, how they feel about being in the markets on Friday. Because if that market closes higher on Friday, that means they left their money in the market in a time when when we got bank failures. That's not even logical. See, the news media has us doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. And the only way you can free yourself from that is to learn how to read the charts.
Okay.
Because news by definition is a freak show.
Yeah.
I worked in the media from age 16 until about 10 years ago. Despite my youthful voice, I'll be 59 years old this month. Aries, shout out to Aries. So dog bites man is not news. Man bites dog is news.
Exactly.
And everybody out there that went to journalism school, and I did too, that they know that. We know. So if you think that the news is an accurate reflection of reality, you are deeply disturbed, deeply mistaken and disturbed. Okay, the news by definition is a freak show. So, because of the nature of news, the most extreme action gets all of the attention. And we, the public, unsuspecting public, take that as a barometer of what's really happening. So the fact that this bank fell and these prices are down, you have to look at signs of the recovery. Because you could still be thinking that everything's going to hell, and in 2 weeks, it could come and take all this out. We could be talking about historic highs again. So we had to really, really be careful. We're in a critical area, and this is what I'm watching. Because in the same thing, I'm kind of going through with the S&P. So this is like I said in the beginning, I'm out there on the left, so to speak, on this. Okay, it's a lot of technical traders that don't necessarily agree with me on this. We'll see how it goes. But as far as these charts go, especially looking on the monthly and stuff like that, there is no weakness. There's no technical weakness.
Okay.
And even Elliott Wave theory suggests that, in my reading of it, that we have one more push higher. So I'm not saying that we could end up at reaching those higher levels maybe in a year. So I'm not saying that hell is not here. I'm not saying that hell isn't near. I'm saying hell isn't here.
Okay.
But it's coming. Okay, it's definitely coming. And so people need to take this time to learn about how the dollar works. The reason why I call myself Dollar Will is because the U.S. dollar is the most important currency on earth. Okay, the U.S. dollar, that's the medium of exchange for international business. Everybody's debt is denominated in dollar all around the world. So when you see what's going, and there's an inverse relationship, generally speaking, over long periods of time, the inverse relationship between the US dollar and energy. And you can't run an industrialized economy when the globe and the whole world is industrialized just about, essentially. You can't run that without some source of energy, which in oil, natural gas, coal, solar, and all of that stuff generally has an inverse relationship to the dollar. So if you understand, and the dollar trades in the same direction generally as the interest rate. So once you understand that, if you keep your thoughts tuned and your opinions tuned to what the dollar is doing and what the major ingredient or necessary item to the industrial age, which is energy. If you follow the dollar, energy, and interest rate charts, you can ignore everybody. You don't need them to tell you. You're free. If you don't understand that stuff, you're the dumb money, and you're gonna be you're in the matrix.
Yep.
You have no chance. You really have no chance if you don't free yourself. And you got to free yourself by understanding how to read charts and pay particular attention to, because the dollar and the interest rate cycle will tell you when you should be trying to buy a house, when you should be trying to sell it, when you should be trying to leave your job if you want to try to move up, or when you need to just stay where you are for a minute because it's going to be rough, and so the hiring cycle is going to go down. So you want that will help you plan your moves in life. So if you don't know that, you flying blind. You're going to end up doing the wrong thing at the wrong time over and over.
So with that being said, what's your take on the lack of economics and understanding money being taught in the American system, being that, like you said, America's economy is so important on a global scale?
All right, again, this is just my opinion. All right, I troll in chats, and I always say, this is slavery 2.0.
Of course. Okay.
Slavery never ended. It's just called debt bondage now. Okay. So I mean, think of it. Check this out. Okay, the slave owner had to buy the slave. He had to give him housing. Had to give him health care. Okay, along comes emancipation. You don't have to give him nothing. Now he got to buy his own house, his own health care. So you tell me, did we really progress? I mean, look at it from the rich, from the slave owner's perspective. He got a better deal. Now he don't have to pay that overhead. Fast forward to the 80s when they ended pensions and stopped on-the-job training. Now you go to college and get a degree, which is bogus to begin with in most cases, because they used to train you that on the job. And so we have a generation born in the 80s think that the way it is now is the way it's always been. No, companies used to pay you, used to invest in your development and train you on the job. They were less likely to fire you because of that investment they made in you. Now you go put yourself in debt, sell yourself to the banks and universities, show up semi-trained for the employer who doesn't even have a pension to offer you. It's a racket. So you have to be made financially illiterate. You're in public school system in capitalism for 12 from first grade to 12th grade, and they don't tell you how money works.
Oh.
What? Slavery 2.0.
Spend, save in a savings account that didn't even yield you 1% savings anymore, all this other shit, and
capitalism. I mean, consumer-based economy. That's what this is all about. Conspicuous consumption, bling, bling, bling. Show you the lifestyle of rich and famous, make you feel that you ain't shit unless you living like that.
Yep, status. Like I said,
they raise us with that. So that's why the first time we get money, we go to you get a record deal, NBA or whatever, or do some illicit thing. What do? We go waste it on all the stuff that they programmed into us that made us feel inadequate. So now I'm somebody because I got that nice car. So they start programming you with that as soon as you set your child down to watch a television show. The commercial comes. Remember, the TV exists for the commercials, not the other way around.
Yep.
That show you watching is there to keep you attentive so you can watch that commercial, because the money comes from the commercial. Okay. And so that commercial makes you desire things, makes you want something. Because once they create a desire in you for something, then they can get you to do things to get it. So
yeah. So you brought up the pensions, right? And shout out to Geeshi Dan. So and happy early birthday, by the way. But is this something that you think is just not known because a lot of you guys have the experience and the life experience and understand of what it was versus what it is now or what it's going to. The Robert Kiyosaki's, I'll be Gen X and above, those generations.
I'm not sure I understand the question.
So older people, right? You guys,
Oh, dude, we blue pill too. Most of us don't know either. So we know better. Dude, I fight with everybody. I fight with my peers, people my age, and especially when they try to put stuff on the younger generation. Whatever confusion exists among the young, we caused it.
Okay.
Okay? The fruit don't fall too far from the tree. Y'all didn't raise yourself. It's a whole lot of blue pill stuff in us. And so y'all had no choice. As the old folks say, y'all got it honest.
Okay.
Y'all got it from us, but capitalism needs an exploited class. That's the way the system works.
Exactly.
Capitalism cannot work without
credit.
Something credit or something to a group to exploit. And so when we ran out of Americans to exploit, what is America? What do we call it? Expansion. We go around the world and look. So we pick on the passport, bro. And so you going in there to date poor women? Well, first of all, that's what men do. Men date down, women date up if we functioning properly. And America looks to date down other countries. That's what capitalist countries do. That's what slavery was about. It wasn't about, oh, they hate black people. No, it can exploit them to build this new, build the West. We'll build the Western Hemisphere.
Cheap to no labor. Yep.
That's all it was. Cheap to free labor. That's it. In America, there's a problem in this democracy, in this capitalism, where the interests of the people and the interests of the corporations diverge. The IRS tax code says that a profit-making company, it must pursue profit. It must pursue profit. The people need jobs, though. It's not the responsibility of the corporations to provide you work. It's their responsibility to pursue profit, even if that means exporting labor to other countries.
Or just replacing it with automation now.
Or replacing it with automation. So the people are screwed. So they have you in school from 1st grade to 12th grade, don't really teach you what capitalism is. It's about labor exploitation. So the only way you can participate, only chance you have to survive capitalism is to learn how these markets work. Even if you have a great degree in a great field and making big money now, we sped up time. The information age sped up time. Things come in vogue and go out of vogue so fast. We invent technologies and make them obsolete within our lifetime. And so you can be working in a great field with a great job. If you don't understand capitalism and how these markets work, you can go from rich to poor in your lifetime. Many people do it all the time. So if you have a great job, I don't care if you're a high value man making $250,000, if you don't understand how capitalism works, you're in danger. If you don't know how to invest that money, you are in danger. So,
all right. Well, like I said, this whole thing that's going on, these banks that's collapsing, and like I said, the waiting for the shoe to drop, as they say, is a major thing because, like I said, we're getting all of the inflation, stagflation, all these things or whatever that they're purposely raising the interest rates. I think what they're doing they're supposed to do it per quarter, right? But now it seems like it's even sooner than that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on like, if what I'm saying is true, if my theory about this reversal in the market to go up is true, because the dollar is due for to start a huge decline, and when that happens, that's going to force the interest rate to decline. See, I don't buy the idea that the Federal Reserve or the central banks of the world control everything. They're responding to the environment. They're not creating it.
Oh,
That's my view. That's the view, because the value of that relationship between the dollar versus energy and all that, and the dollar goes on these very long cycles, and it's tilting. If I'm right, we're gonna, a month from now, listen to this video, this discussion, and you're gonna go, wow, it makes more sense now. He doesn't sound so crazy, because now the whole news has shifted to sound like what Dollar Will was saying, because the dollar is the dog. Everything else is the tail. The dollar and the interest rate, that's the dog. Everything else is the tail. And the dog wags the tail. And the Federal Reserve has to get the interest rate, the monetary policy, and all that. They have to get that in sync with what that dominant trend is on, say, a monthly, quarterly chart. Because once those trends change direction, they tend to stay in that direction for years. It doesn't change that often. It doesn't change because Trump became president. It doesn't change because somebody sent a Twitter or tweet. This is the technical perspective, okay? And so if the dollar starts trending down, you cannot, okay, interest rate is a premium. Interest rate is the price to borrow money. You cannot charge a higher premium on something that's not in demand. So if the dollar is trending down, it's because it's being sold off around the world. And so if something is going down, trending down, you can't charge more for it. So when the dollar reverses and gets in this definite, when the central banks are clear that the dollar trend is definitely headed down, that's going to cause them to start to lower the interest rate again. We're going to get one more cycle up of these home flippers and stuff. So your real estate may get one more push. And then we're going to hell. Okay. Then we're going to hell. The hell is near, but the hell ain't here.
Okay. So can you explain the difference? Because everybody here, for the most part, literally everybody here definitely experienced the quote unquote the recession of 2008, right? Yeah. We're all adults. We've all experienced it. Some at, I
was a fundamental trader back then. Okay. And I believed all that crap.
Okay, so what's the difference though if we go from 2008 to, I think, I want to say 2011, time of recession or whatever, before they really start doing the QE and open everything up? What happens? What does a depression look like versus a recession in your opinion? I know you haven't experienced one. You know what I'm saying? You haven't experienced one, and none of us have experienced a depression. But what's the difference of levels of, like, I guess, like economic downturn and the effects on the people versus what we saw in 2008? Because a lot of people are saying, hey, this right here, because of, like you said, the longest bull run in history, and all these things going on in QE and all these different things, right? The deficit, the national deficit, all these different things. What does it look like if we hit rock bottom of hell, like you're talking about?
I'm gonna leave the recession talk to the economists. Let me just say, there's another word that people don't talk about much. It's called deflation. We talk about inflation all the time, and inflation, just in a very crude definition, of course, things get more expensive. Well, deflation is like what it sounds like, the bubble bursting, things getting cheaper. Okay, so when hell comes, all these prices are going to unwind. The business growth, the expansion of business, hiring of people, expanding into newer markets, the cycle of companies making more profit, giving you raises and hiring more people and all that, you buying a bigger house and a bigger car and all that stuff, having more kids because of it, all that's going to unwind. And so everything will start to revert to the mean, basically. And I'm talking about the mean on say a 100-year chart. So we're talking about taking back money for multiple generations, going back several generations, just wiping out generations of wealth accumulation. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's the worst thing for everyone in a sense, but for everyone in a sense, but for the informed, it's Christmas. It's Christmas because you can make money as a trader when things go up or down.
Okay.
And so when things are falling fast, for the people shorting it, they're making money fast. And prices generally fall faster than they rise. So the informed will really get rich quickly. And so the way that that's also why, in my opinion, the general public has to be made stupid, because power will can shift potentially.
Exactly.
If
Yep.
too many people that are, quote, I'm using air quotes, too many outsiders outside the main power block that run things, whether we're talking locally or globally, if too many new faces come into power, then that changes the political landscape.
Yeah.
That
And the power.
changes who's in charge, who's president, whose value system is going to rule. So that's another reason why. So I mean, the wealthy, the power, in my view, the power that runs the world, they can handle losing money as long as the people making money are pretty much the same like them, because then the rules of the world don't really change. But
Exactly.
when people with very different views of life become the wealthy, now you're talking about a cultural shift. Now you're talking regime change. And that's what they're worried about. So to keep the masses, the sheeple, you know.
Hey, and let me. Hey, this is Tinfoil Tuesdays, man. I don't know if you remember, you was back on a while for this, and you know we so hey, don't hold back.
Okay.
I see you hesitate. Yeah, this is what this is about. So
Okay.
get into it. Yeah, get into it below the layers. Because I've heard you speak, and I was like, oh shit. I remember when I got on your first this is what actually I got on your Patreon, because I was like, man, wow, I didn't know that you know what I'm saying, that you were as knowledgeable and you were really talking about it, and like you gave the whole speech, and you broke down the college hustle, like I mean the college finesse, like massively. Like and like I said, you experienced it, because like you were living when the shift happens.
Right,
So, so it was crazy for me because I seen it, and when I started saying this, you know, and people get offended. And again, man, this no disrespect,
right.
not disregarding to the people that the educated, man, you guys are needed or whatever. But what we're telling you is this, right? A very few very small percentage of people, you know what I'm saying, benefit from this thing that everybody was in on. The government was in on it. The school system were in on it. Public and and colleges and the business were on it, on it, man. And like you said, that those layers, that where if you can't see it, it's just like, well, go to college and, you know, get a degree. Go to college, get a degree. Go to college, get a degree. You know, but not understanding that, okay, the only motherfucking loan in history of man that you cannot you cannot you cannot file bankruptcy for, you cannot be forgiven, is what? And then actually it's coming even fuller fruition now, because they lied and said, oh yeah, student loan forgiveness. It's to get people into, this whole, the current regime we have as far as like, leadership in this country, right? Lo and behold, just for them to find out that they couldn't do it in the first place. And had you had any type of, if you had a political and legal understanding, that it was impossible. But furthermore, like you said, like you're saying, most importantly, if you understand from an elitist level and to keep people in control and in power, you'd understand that was never going to happen. It was an empty promise from jump.
Right. And that college thing, listen, I got to be clear when I say this, because people, it's a nuanced argument. First, you got to deal with like the blue pill nature in the brain of these folks. I'm always arguing against about this college thing. You got to separate knowledge from college. Because when we talk about being educated, the default for them is to be educated means to have a degree. And that's just ignorant. We got to stop that. We let the banks and colleges have a monopoly on who's prepared to have a job, who's prepared for employment. I think the computer industry got it right. I think that's the blueprint for the future of America, and you see it happening. During Trump's time, there was the government what was it? What's the Office of Personnel Management, the government's personnel department. They said that they were going to stop requiring a college degree because they were weeding out too many qualified people. They were not happy with the quality of people they were getting when they were requiring a college degree. Because therefore the whole premise that the person with the degree is more qualified, there's no proof of that.
Yeah, let me hop in real quick, Will. And this happened too with another business that did that. And they said, look, we were requiring these degrees and stuff, and those people that were in a setting of learning or whatnot, what have you, and they had all these credentials and degrees and things. The business was overspending, the business was losing out on a lot of opportunities, and the people owning the business had to be a lot more involved because they constantly had these questions. Well, can we do this, or can we do that, and can we do this, and can we do that? Should we do this? Should we do that? And what they did was, like you said, they got to this shift and they had an understanding of, well, okay, well, damn, we're going to get these degree people, but we have these actual freelancers out here that do this thing on the daily. So let's shift to doing more of them or whatnot, what have you. And they actually, it was like they got worried because they're like, well, nobody's calling us anymore. Nobody's checking in for anything. Like, what the hell is going on? Are these guys even working? And when they looked into it, like you said, because these people had the actual boots on the ground experience and knowledge, and they were actually in it, no, college training or anything, official training whatsoever, the business ran much smoother. The overhead was much lower, and they were able to work with a smaller staff. Why? Because you had these people that had the experience and the knowledge, not necessarily just not, but not the degree or whatnot. And
Right.
and I think, like you said, and again, gotta be clear. I know you niggas get sensitive, okay? But yeah, man, listen, knowledge and education are two different things, okay? Intelligence and education are two different things. Education is the ability to pretty much regurgitate information given to you, what have you. They're not one and the same, okay?
What I'm trying to draw a distinction between, I'm trying to create a divorce in people's mind between knowledge and college.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or education and college. Knowledge and education exists beyond college. Knowledge and education beyond college. We have to accept that there are people out here who can teach themselves. There are people out here that start businesses and learn. There are people who are able to create on-the-job training opportunities for themselves, and I fit into all of those categories. I'm speaking what I know. I started a media business at 18 years old. Okay, it had a good run. I made money, wrote grants, made money, had programs airing on like 5 different stations in DC at the time, learned an incredible amount, and was going to college at the same time. I couldn't do both. I had to choose. I choose to do the business. I made contacts with people I was working in media, made contacts with people. A lot of the people that I was working with, that I made contact with, as I started to get these lower level, entry level jobs, like community based, like public radio, public television, and things like that. And this was in the early 80s, when in the early 80s, cable television was just coming on the scene. So I was in high school and I graduated in 1982. This is when cable TV as we know it was coming forward. And so America knew that they were going to need a whole lot of people with skills to write and to operate all this technical equipment. And I saw, and what I saw then and saw repeat when IT came along, computer industry came along, is in the beginning of a new technology, the country cannot require a college degree because it takes too long to get it. So if you keep focused on the new technology, you can get around that degree requirement because they need good people and they don't care where you get it. Later on, because of that supply and demand thing in America, the universities will see, wait a minute, okay, so corporate America needs this type of worker. Let's make a degree for it. And then the banking system says, okay, we'll offer financing for it. And so then the corporations say, okay, we can get people that at least understand some theory and we don't have to teach the worker that. Let's start requiring college degree. So at one point in my job, and I like to keep my anonymity, so that's why I'm not gonna mention the place. But this place I worked, this major media corporation that was known every corner of planet Earth. Okay, I've traveled internationally, covering stories, and especially like the Nelson Mandela thing, transmitted that to America. Okay, so I've done major things, and I've like been the leader, technical leader. I've been a primary trainer. I've created training curriculums at that level, and my students were people with degrees. Okay, so my employer changed the daggone job requirement, saying college degree required. I went off. I went to human resources and I said, what is this? I said, you're stopping the next me from working here. I'm not a marginal worker here. I'm a leader here. How are you going to say a degree is required and look me in my face? What's your justification for that? And she told me, she said, you don't understand. That last job announcement we had in your department, we had 2,000 respondents. I can't read through 2,000 applications. She said, so we put, we have to find a way to whittle it down. I'm like, you can't look deeper into the qualifications of the person. You're just going to weed them out because they didn't go to college. And that's what's happening. So, but it cannot be justified. What the IT industry is doing has to be the blueprint. Certification. That's the word. Because there should be a test, an objective test that workers are given. And if your college degree was worth anything, you should have no problem passing the test. I'm not saying make the test easy for people who didn't go to college. Give everyone the same test. The people who choose not to go to college, make them responsible for acquiring the knowledge that's relevant to the job that a college person would know. Don't make it harder for me. Don't make it easier for me. Give me the same objective test. But at the moment I pass that test, I'm equally qualified.
Well, another thing too, like you say, is the majority of jobs are still done through nepotism. That's always been a fact that I don't think people understand. So even the situation, right, to where I heard people, telling me, being military or whatnot, what have you, having that affiliation. Hey man, you looking for a job? You need a job or whatever? So just let me know whenever you're gonna be, and as soon as you get out, I got you. And we literally see that happen in the military a lot. Shout out to all the vets. A lot all the time, right? Just as other places, other things, as to where people may have connections, or people may know someone. I know someone right now who because they're doing all these crazy layoffs and things. So in order to make sure that they're safe and they got a safety net, they started reaching out and networking and being like, hey, I have this other like say certification and this other completely totally different job field, not even related to what they're doing now. What they're doing now is more IT related, right? But the other one is actually like hands-on skill. So they were saying how they reached out, and once they reached out, that person worked and knew HR, so they were able to put her name at the top of the pile. You know what I'm saying? Right. Put her name at the top of the pile, so it would definitely get looked at, and conversations and consideration, all these different things and whatnot, what have you. So yeah, it's a lot of things that play into it, even with the the college aspect of it. But even once that happens, like, okay, well, that's the, I guess, the weed down all the applications, like you said. But even within that situation, you're gonna have a lot of nepotism being still a major part of it. And I think people need to consider that now, especially that the job market is going to be tighter and tighter, because these businesses are trying to cut overhead. They're trying to cut expenses, and the most expensive thing is an employee. You know what I'm saying? Employee is far more expensive than any product could ever be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to read what you got on screen. Says college opens doors. Do you need college? Not necessarily, but with a degree in a said field, your application will move to the top of the pile. I agree. Now, again, I'm not against college. I'm against the require. I'm against the presumption that the college graduate is a superior job candidate. That's what I'm against. I want that to be tested, qualified. That's what I want. I want that to be proven, and it's not, because the real badasses out here don't go to college first. There are a lot of Bill Gates out there. Okay, a lot of them. They're good enough to compete coming out of high school. Is that most people? No. But you got to recognize that those people are out there.
Yeah.
And you cannot have this system that slams the door in their face because they didn't need what most people needed. They got the discipline to teach themselves at the high school level. Most people never learn that until they go to college. That's the problem. That's the problem. So this, I think our failure, and I'm gonna say, I'm a cusp. I'm born on the cusp of baby boomer and Generation X. The cusp year is 1964. So I'm both. I'm the youngest baby boomer, and I'm the oldest Gen Xer. Okay. So I understand both. We failed because we bought into this status crap. We bought into this status crap where, if you look at this, it's hit my theory again. During slavery, we saw Little Master Johnny. Little Master Johnny was slave owner's son. Little Master Johnny went to college. So what white people did was the mirror for us, for everything about how to succeed. So because they had college, we want college. I'm not saying that college is bad. I'm saying it's more nuanced than that. College, if you look at the history of higher education, that was like a privilege for the rich, preserved for the rich. Little Master Johnny was never going to apply for a job. His daddy was rich. Little Master Johnny was being educated to not be a fool with his father's inheritance, with the inheritance he was going to receive from his father. But we conflate the reality of our child with Little Master Johnny. That's a gross error.
Mm-hmm.
His outlook is completely different. So look at what the Little Master Johnnies do. They pay off the university system. They build a gymnasium. And they get their kid the degree. There's a whole lot of effortry going on there among the rich. And we come out with this presumption that you're equal, that you can compete after going through that crap. And all the data says that the black man with a college degree is still hired after than a white man. A black man with a degree is still behind a white man without one. Right. Yeah. So we blew it in our civil rights push. We never incorporated this college degree requirement as an extension of discrimination. And it is race discrimination and class discrimination all in one. And because it speaks to our fractured self-esteem, we won't let it go. It makes us feel validated. And because of that, we won't destroy it. We need to have an objective system so that the people who can learn on the job. When I was coming up in media, learning in those community organizations and stuff, a lot of my teachers, a lot of my peers in those organizations happen to be university professors. I attended Howard University. Some of my peers in those organizations I was working were the professors in my field. They were teaching me in the workplace the same subject matter they taught in school. I saw that when I became a student at Howard University. That's when I started saying, this is bullshit. So my knowledge that I acquired from those university sanctioned or qualified professors, when they teach me off campus, it's not, my knowledge isn't, my education isn't valid. But if I pay the university this money and sit in the classroom with the same instructor, now I get the preference. This is bullshit.
Yeah, and let me highlight this real quick. This was the I think it was the mom from the chick that played the mom on Full House. She played the mom to the twins on Full House. Shout out to Ed. And yeah, she got caught up in one of these scandals, and it was a couple of big ones to where she scammed on something or whatever and got her kids into this school, you know what I'm saying, pretty much through bribery and, like you said, and buying their way in.
Right. So no, my argument is nuanced. I am not against college. I am against college having damn near a monopoly over access to jobs. That's what I'm against. I'm for the individual, the rights of the individual being respected, to have them get tested, allow them to compete in an objective test to see if they're qualified. I'm against the presumption that they're not qualified merely because they don't have a degree. That's bullshit. And there are many fields where there's some fields that are technical in nature. It requires like expensive equipment that you can't get access to on your own. And this equipment might be millions of dollars or something. And so you might need to be in some kind of trade school or university type of environment to be able to get your hands on that technology. But anything that's just a person lecturing you, let's even go with law. ChatGPT is going after that industry. The YouTube is going after that. I think you're gonna see a lot of law schools close the hell up because YouTube can take that out. That same instructor that's teaching law at Harvard could have a damn YouTube channel and you can pay him directly. How is your education inferior? Everything they're doing there, they can have moot court on YouTube. So I think a whole lot of these subject matter, especially the liberal arts courses, there's nothing technical there. It's just, oratory, So you're getting a lecture and you're getting an experience from your peers in the classroom, the richness of that dialogue with them. Well, hell, we get that in the manosphere. We just got to add the structure to it, where there's like a testing and that type of thing. And I think we're seeing it with teachable.com and all that stuff. I think we're seeing education change, and the success of the people in the IT world with the certifications, they're working right alongside the people with the degrees doing the exact same work.
Well,
so why isn't that the one with the degree? Some of the ones with some people are better, smarter than others. Okay, so everybody's not going to rise to the design level. The engineer that creates the thing that becomes the blueprint that everybody else will follow. And it's a small percentage of people that are that smart. Even among the degree holders, the Pareto principle rules there. 80% of them are worker bees. It's a very small percentage of that crowd that are really the leaders. and the rest of them are just they're no better off than that person that's with a certification. So why is if what I'm saying is wrong, why aren't the degree holders outperforming the non-degree holders in fields where you can get in with a certification? If you needed a degree, go get one. If you don't. You know, if it's like the hospital, if you need to go to the hospital, go. If you can heal yourself at home, okay. You know, do what you need to do. Handle your business. But at the end of the day, we're going to send you to the doctor and you're going to get a checkup and we're going to give you a test over here. And if you pass the test, fine. How you got the knowledge or how you got the medicine, that's irrelevant. You got it. You got healed. You got informed. The process is not what we are evaluating. So we got banks and colleges just trying to maintain a monopoly on the money. And it's bullshit. And I would love to see more people way back when we started the Black Brain Trust. I was saying this way back then because, you know, I was saying it would be great if we could lead something like that to bring structure and have some of these professors at the college level. We can create a structure here in the social media space where they can be paid directly. And then we fight to destroy this degree requirement and instead have an objective test determine who's qualified for the job.
Well, I think a lot of businesses are starting to they're actually I saw an article about it here recently, and I think they're starting to move away from that because, like you said, what's going to happen is this, right? People aren't going to be able to afford college, okay, and a lot of people are getting away from college because they see I think the veil has been lifted on the finesse of the whole system, right? Especially when it comes to student loan debt.
Right.
So people understanding that and knowing that, and especially now here with there being less jobs available or people being able to work those jobs, or those jobs being offered. There's going to be a shift, and especially with all of these people that are in the tech field, right? You know, you can get certification. Certification is going to make you let's say, you know, how long is a certification for some type of ITA, CompTIA, or something like that.
Right.
Shout to G Dizzle, by the way. You know, that'll net you profits and foot into an industry that's going to pay you, you know what I'm saying, a lot faster than you going to a college and racking up hundreds of $1,000s of debt for 4 years. Then to come out, you know, during that time, you're trying to work and you're working on this and all these different things. And at the same time, you're losing all that money versus you're paying out to where even if you do get that job, i.e., man, I had no idea. Shout out to all the doctors, the MDs out here, man. MDs tell you, bro, like, bro, they don't even make a profit until like maybe their, you know, 5th or 6th year at you know, practicing. Because why? All of the crazy and of course you know, nobody's saying, man, I gotta reiterate, nobody's saying like, you know, college is bad or whatever. We're simply pointing out the flaws. We're simply pointing out the deeper layers. It's Tinfoil Tuesday for the new people that may not know. And just like you said, it's like a gatekeeping thing, and it's
Right.
far bigger. It's far bigger things in play for what and why it happened.
See, that's a failure of capitalism there. Doctors are so daggone important that in America, we should give people free education. If you're smart enough to be a doctor, we need doctors so much. You should be able to go to school for free. That's why when you go to the doctor, you got a foreigner there most of the time.
Yep.
That's a failure of capitalism. So shout out to O'Shea. He went to Poland. You know, nobody was telling us, hey, you know, you can go to Cuba and you can study. Nobody told me that in high school, that you can go to Cuba and get a degree, you can become a doctor, and the payoff is you have to stay there for X number of years and provide service to Cubans. And then after that time is over, then you can leave. You will have paid your debt. Nobody told us that. Because in capitalism, we're supposed to be the slave class here. We're the footstool of American capitalism. And we're the only thing keeping white folks from kicking each other's ass, stopping that poor white man from kicking that rich white man's ass, is that both of them get to stand on our neck and feel superior. As soon as we get our shit together and no longer be the footstool here, this country gonna have some serious reckoning. So this passport thing has some deep, deep implications. There will be some pushback from the government about too much of this footstool, too many of its footstools leaving America. It can't survive it. So
Yeah,
there's gonna be some pushback. It's all written. And what you said earlier, that it's all about the money. That you're right. The economics determine the politics, and not the other way around. Back to the charts where I say the price of goods, main things like energy and the interest rate, that defines your politics. It's not the politics defining the economics. We fight wars for reasons, and most of those reasons can come back to some money shit. Okay, whether that's fiat or whether it's oil, it's still economic. So you know, we have to make it important to ourselves, to us, to really understand capitalism and how this engine works. Okay, because we were the capital in capitalism as slaves. Okay.
Yep.
We were it. So we got to really understand that, because we, you know, until we do, we still going to always be at the bottom.
Yep. You got like I say, you're gonna be a piece versus a player. And,
Yeah,
and like, I think, yeah.
And we gotta develop. So this is on that Pookie and Ray educated lame beta shit. Okay, we got to stop all that bullshit. We really got to cut that bullshit out. We got to make the desire for knowledge cool. We really do. We got to stop that shit.
That's a whole nother thing. Well, that's a
whole other thing, but it's all related. That's why y'all see me on every kind of panel or every kind of group in the manosphere. I'm all over this because I know it's all related. You know, the deal with the woman, that's a primary thing. If we don't get that relationship fixed, then civilization stops. So nothing is more important than that. That's how we make people. You know, so that's the primary thing, especially once you get your money right and your job together. Men start looking around like, well, shit, you know, I mean, time for me to have a family now. I got everything else. That's just a natural next step. You know, I mean, you can't, you know, you don't want, nobody wants to be in the club for too long. You know, that gets old real fast, you know?
Yep.
You know, but yeah, it was something else I was saying. What we were just on. I had having a senior moment, man. This is the only. I haven't had this chance to just speak like this in a long time, man. I'm just like trying to get it all in. But yeah, man, we got it's levels to this. It's levels to this.
Damn, that's new. So I'm gonna have to look into that. I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, listen. Hey, and that cure. Hey, and I'm gonna let y'all know this. Hey, y'all fuck around and listen to that. Why you saying there's an actual cure for diabetes? That cure for that cure for HIV ain't real. Okay. Listen, man, don't y'all be out here playing with your life and your genitals, man. Strap up, wrap up, because man, it's gonna get a whole lot harder out here, man. I'm telling you, there, you know, hey, he mentioned Bill Gates the other day. This motherfucking eugenics shit is real, brother.
Oh yeah.
You believe if you want to. They got to find a way to get too many of you motherfuckers out here one way or the other. They out here, bro. I seen some dude celebrate and talk about it, man. It's undetectable. You know, of course, you know, hey, one of those guys, right? And talking about how it's undetectable and how he can't wait to go out here and, you know, have unprotected sex with another, you know, person. And it's just like, whoa, brother, what's going on here? What are we talking about? So yeah, man, it's so many things that's going on out here, man.
Yeah, I mean, the world of young people living in right now is far more challenging than anything any of us older people ever had to deal with, man. Y'all, y'all they coming at y'all, life coming at y'all fast from every direction, man.
Telling you, man, like, bro, I have to literally, like, at this point, like, you got sons, you got nephews, you got godsons, you got young men, impressionable young men out here, man. Y'all stay in their head, man. Y'all look over them, because, like I said, they are directly attacking them, especially the black ones, bro. There's a purposeful agenda out here. They are after your children. We'll just leave it at that on that one. I ain't gonna get into too much detail. I'll talk about that, you know what I'm saying, on another thing. But yeah, man, it's really real out here. And like I said, like, and I think when more brothers from, you know what I'm saying, your generation speak, and the further we get away from it, right, you know what I'm saying, people don't understand it because they never seen it. So it's like, y'all you just out of touch, and you just you're just a bigot, or you're just this. You're like, no. I literally, you know what I'm saying, was in a place where, this was just commonality and everybody knew it. Like, but you get to this point where everything's a blurred line or a gray area. So now everything is, you know what I'm saying, everything is possible. Everything's on the table. Stuff that should have never, ever been, you know what I'm saying, even thought about, because it's just, by any reasonable person, incredibly unreasonable and literally, like, impossible. We're having debates now where we're challenging scientifically proven from the establishment of not just human existence, but, 99% of all organism existence, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, reproduction of your male versus female. So yeah, man, like you say, it's crazy. The people don't understand the weight of that even being a thing coming at the youth when they're impressionable, and they're, you know what I'm saying, and you're trying to change their perception of reality and society. Yeah, a lot of people don't get it, and they just, it's not this serious. No, it's extremely serious, because you're challenging the foundation of human existence and just existence. So
That's right. It's never, you're right. It's very serious. But I tell you about it, the same token, people have never been this fortified to fight back, because social media ushered in the era of narrowcasting. Okay. Broadcasting is you got an antenna distributing a signal to a defined area. The signal can only reach so far. So you kind of know. You got the FCC regulating how far everybody's transmitter can go. So you kind of know who you're talking to. Narrowcasting, and because of broadcasting being that way, you gotta water the message down to the least common denominator, because you can't, you would turn off too many people and you can't make money. Narrowcasting allows you to focus your message like a laser on a small slice, and they can sustain you. So the message isn't watered down. So, and that's what the technology gives younger people to fight back. So governments can't even really effectively control people the way that they could control us. Because now, I mean, we was talking to abstract about people from other countries. You'd be on YouTube, people from them other countries hop on the damn panel. It's like, whoa, So we be on there talking about Africans and different things. Africans will hop on, and we get to work it out and straighten it out and get beyond the propaganda that these governments put in front of the people. And so it's like, to the point now, if you cut the internet off, man, this world will go. This world would my God, we'd have a civil war all over the world.
Yeah,
the biggest one. You better not turn that damn internet off. They might have to find a way to change the way they fund this thing, to add it to the sales tax or something, so everybody can have free internet. Because I mean, we are psychologically wedded to this thing now. And it's transformative. It really is, in ways that the powerful don't really like. But they can't stop it. They can't stop it. We can't go back. So yeah, I think that although the young are under attack from a lot of ways, but they can defend themselves in ways that we can't. And what attracted me to the manosphere was when I heard it. I was listening back in 2010, 12, or way back in there, because I was working a night shift. This is when I was still working my job, working on an overnight shift, in broadcasting. I was like, and we're allowed to listen to anything, play music, whatever. They just don't want you going to sleep, So in that night shift, you there really you there in case there's like some war or something, some president die or something in another country where it's daytime, you know, so you really there to like be the first response to get the information out or whatever, in case we got to do some show or whatever. So I would be listening to the manosphere and I'm like, whoa, this is fucking raw. It's everybody there. And I'm like, that's never happened because I grew up in DC, as the conservative brothers like to say, Blackistan and all of that. Okay, so I'm lefty liberal radical from that. So Pacifica and all that kind of stuff. That's what I come from. And in my day, we were different camps. We didn't, all these different lanes people were in. People didn't really communicate to each other with each other. And I came upon the manosphere in the early days. I said, whoa, all these brothers are there fighting it out back during the Coliseum days, fighting it out. But at least we're talking. And me understanding the theory of stuff and communication and all that, I'm like, this is going to change society. This is going to change civilization because people don't know each other, but they're going to get to know each other. We're going to hear each other's arguments and understand and even respect each other's path because it's a lot of different Black Americans. My DC experience is not exactly the same as somebody from LA or Chicago. It's all these unique Black communities in America. We got a lot in common, but we're not exactly the same. And we didn't know a lot about each other until this social media thing. And then that has expanded to now you got brothers in the UK rolling through, coming through on programs in America, and we hopping on their programs, and we got Africans coming through. And so, I mean, we don't watch O'Shea become Pan-African when he was totally not that. And I just laughed my ass off when he was going through that transition because I had to kind of little light troll and write comments below his videos when he was, super conservative when he wasn't Pan-African. But now he is. And I'm just loving watching these brothers. First, they was talking about going to date these white women. And again, I don't care about that race thing because it's only 80% of Black folks date Black folks, and we don't need to be majoring in the minor. So what that smaller percentage does, after all we've been through in America, the fact that so few of us date outside the race is a damn miracle. It shows that we got a connection, a need for each other that's not going to be broken. But anyway, even those brothers that was on that white woman thing, when they start traveling and going to Central and South America and Africa, the brothers switched it up. They start saying, oh, wait a minute. I can give me a Black woman just from another culture. Oh, so my issue really ain't with the race. My issue is with the culture. Oh, so here I'm watching these conservative brothers become Pan-African and they don't even realize it. They don't even realize that that's what's happening to them. And once you get out of America, you can see how much of us Black Americans, what part of us is American. We definitely are American. And then there's a Black thing that we have too, our unique culture within America. But when you start traveling around to Africa and other countries, you know we them people and they us. And so there's an African thing that's us. There's a unique Black culture that we have that all Africans have. Even on the continent, they're not the same. And throughout the diaspora in Central and South America, they're not the same. So we just one of the different tribes. That's all. That's all. Nothing special. But when you don't get that until you travel. And I'm just watching them conservative brothers do that, man, go through that transition. It's amazing. It is amazing. I don't even know that they know now, that they're even aware now that they really are Pan-African. That they're some of those, what they're calling conservatism. I mean, Black people are socially conservative. We're politically liberal. We're socially conservative. We're pretty much that way all over the world. So on those extreme social positions, about the alphabet you talking about earlier, we're pretty much on code with that all over the world. That's our views are pretty consistent on that. So socially, we're pretty conservative. But politically, we're pretty liberal, meaning if something is wrong, we want the government to fix it. We want right to prevail, even if we have to force people to do it in law. That's pretty much how we are. We're not for whatever goes, let's fight it out. No, we're not like that. We want the government to have some kind of moral compass. So I like it, how the manosphere has got the left and the right talking, and we can see that we agree much more than we thought. It's just that when the right was saying, "Why don't y'all do something about, this and that in the community? Y'all talking about the white man all the time. You ain't fixing that." I'm like, nigga, why don't you fix it? Why I got to fix it? Why I got to fix it and not you? Why don't you fix it? And I hear the SYSBM camp. I'm like, bro, do y'all realize that way back in the day, that's really what the quote unquote pro-black was saying, the same thing as the SYSBM brothers. They was like, this culture here and this particular brand of capitalism has some negative consequences, and we're not going to be able to fix this. We might have to let it burn. So even those brothers, it's like that view has been around for a long time. It's just that you couldn't come out and say that publicly.
Thank God for the internet, right?
Thank God for the internet.
Yeah.
But y'all don't ramble too much, man. But yeah, thank you.
Hey, man. I greatly appreciate you taking time out, man. If you guys not, shout out to Doug for putting this channel in the chat, man. Make sure y'all go and learn a lot, man. Wealth of knowledge. Hit that Patreon up. All those things, man. I swear, man. I'm looking when I get time, man. I'll have to binge watch your stuff and catch up. Well, I know you guys are in it to win it every weekend, man. But I greatly appreciate your wealth of knowledge and life experience, and come back, man. If you can, then you win, man. Tinfoil Tuesdays. I'm not gonna do it every Tuesday, but I'll you'll see it whenever I do it. Now that I'm off, YouTube's off my back for now. I got a clean slate for now, man. I had to get out them papers before I could even deal with it. They was hitting all of my anything that had Tinfoil Tuesdays in it, man. They was knocking it down. So I just make sure I watch what I actually talk about, and stay away from certain things, and try to get back into it.
Dude, I had the same number of subscribers on my channel. I've been stuck at the same number for more than a year.
Yeah, man.
That's why I don't even put nothing. I just stopped doing YouTube for the most part. I go on people's panels and active in the chat. I don't even post on my channel that much, but I am active enough on my Patreon.
Yeah, most definitely.
Everybody ain't interested in this money talk financial thing, so it just kind of like when I see the numbers and I see my subscribers not moving on YouTube, I get pissed off. So I'm like, well, then don't do it then. If it's upsetting you like that, just don't do it. And so I don't even worry.
Oh, trust me, I have my days, man. Like I say, especially me coming back, bro, having to start like I had to start basically from scratch. Because last year I was on deployment, so I lost like a whole year, man. And I had to literally gain all this traction back and do all this stuff, man. It took me 6 months just to get, from 5,000 subs to 6,000 subs, man. So yeah,
algorithm ain't giving you no love.
Especially they hit me them strikes too. They hit you the strikes, they put you in the back. So I had to clean everything up for a little minute or whatever and keep it on the roll, bro, and then keep it moving forward. But that's how we're gonna do it.
If I keep talking about the university system and the fundamental analysis scam and all of that crap, so I know that I'm being shadow banned. Look, I'll post something on my channel, right? And I can't even find my own video on my channel.
Yep.
It might be 2 or 3 days before it show up. I'm like, wow. So they mean that thing is real, man. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But hey, I greatly appreciate you for coming up, man. Pull up on me, man. You just come back anytime, man. Shout out to
All
Dollar
right,
Will.
man.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
All
for
right,
sure.
peace. I'm out, man.
For sure. So hey, man, greatly appreciate you guys for coming through. Tinfoil Tuesdays is back here for you. So tune in to me, man. Everything's good. We go we gonna navigate tap dance and whatnot, what have you. And I actually have something that can even that forbidden subject. I have somebody that I can use now in reference and just use him as the basis whenever we're covering that very, very heavy subject that I have to get into, because again, man, you know what I'm saying? It was attempted to be forced on me and you. But anyway, man, hey, that's that on that one. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Holla. See you late.